Hey everybody, we had to start over again because the connection was very bad and frozen, which is weird because I had a call earlier today to check out my craft roulette slot and it turned out fine. So I don't know what's different. I hope this works. I don't know what to do if it doesn't, but I hope that you guys can find me and we get going and we can resume the show. Oh, good, Glum. Okay, I don't know what I did. I just stopped and started again. Okay, well, good. I'm glad it's working. Yay! Oh, good, guys. Thank you for finding me. Okay, very good. Sorry about the problem. I don't know what it was, so I didn't. I don't even know how to fix it next time, but good. I'm glad it's better. Okay, good. You're all back. Okay. Thank you, Glum, for sharing to the group because I didn't have time. Okay. Well, it's good that it works because this is a fun project and I want everybody to see right because look at this. We are embossing leather. And I was saying that I have a son and 3 son-in-laws. And so I'm always like, what do I give them? I want to make things for them, but oh, hey, Cheryl. Cheryl did a really cool hat and embossed a sunflower. Very cool. Um, so I was thinking about it, and they take a little more time, but I was going to make them little notebooks this time for Father's Day or their birthdays, whatever, whatever comes first, whatever I get done first. So anyway, I had made a journal for my husband, and he actually uses it, and you know, it's just harder for guys. Like it doesn't come in my head that I should do this thing for a guy. But anyway, good, Lori. Thank you, everybody. Thanks for saying it looks better. Hey, there's Jen. Hi, Leslie. Yeah, there's more people on. Okay. Anyway, so what we're going to do tonight is we are going to make a little journal out of the card caddy. We're just going to do one cover, and then I want to show you how to do the embossing on it because it's so easy and it just adds such great detail. And then there's some other things that you can do with it too. I don't think I've ever done this video before, but I don't know. Hi, Tracy. Oh, good. Found me again. You guys are so good. Okay, one more thing I just wanted to say. As I said in my, what was it, Instagram stories, I'm going to be on this show called Craft Roulette on Friday night. It's on YouTube. So you just go in and follow Craft Roulette and it will be live. I think it starts at it's like 6 o'clock, but then I don't come on till 7:10. I have to look on the calendar again. Hey, Lisa. So anyway, it is a show where you have to like craft on the fly. And you have to make a card. She said you don't have to do a card, but usually it's cards. So, I'm like not a card person. And I take too long. I take forever. And so I'm a little nervous. We went through the technical thing today. That was not too bad. But the thought of you have to like spin a roulette wheel and you have 4 categories that you can pick from. And anyway, it could go fine and it could go bad. So if you would like to come on and kind of maybe plant some ideas there for me, you know how I am. Yes, you can watch the challenge on replay. Yes. Yeah, you make tiny cards. That's a good idea. See, maybe I could do that. But see, one of the things that one of the categories, and they don't call them categories, it's I forget the name of it. But anyway, one of them, it might say like 6x6 card, which would be okay because that's like a journal cover. And she said, this Mary, she's really fun. She said, just think of it as a canvas. And I'm like, well, how about a book cover? So anyway, an idea in my head is good, except there's Delana Burns. How are you, Delana? You have these criteria that you have to use. So like she said something about animals, and it's like, well, I don't do anything with animals. I don't know. So I'm just gonna have to figure something out on the fly. But if you guys have any tips for me and you happen to be watching, Have an easy design as your head as you go. Then you can build from it. All right, Erin, you going to be there for me? Oh, animal print. Okay. See, now stuff like that. I have a folder that's an animal print. How many flowers did you buy? Oh, I didn't get that many, Lynn. I only got one, and I was going to go back the next day. It was beautiful. It was this begonia. I think I showed it in the video, this beautiful, full pink begonia, and there were 3 of them, and I was going to go back the next day, but I didn't. I forgot. Paper with animals. Yeah, that's true. Okay. All right. I have flashes of panic, but it could be okay. Have a lot of embellishments on the table. I do have a monkey and elephant dies. That's true. Don't overthink. Yeah. No, oh, believe me, I am not going to go over the top. They will be very simple. I'm like a plain crafter. I'm not a golden books. I have them. See, I think we get a minute to go and get our stuff and run around and find it once they get the parameters. That's what she called it. Once those are set, then I know what I need and I can go around. They have a little break, then I can come back. Yeah, flowers, you can't go wrong. If that's a category that I get. You do get one as the guest. You get one like that. I think you can refuse one and spin again or something. We'll see. It's going to be crazy. All right, Erin, we'll see. Wish me luck, but if you want to come, it is a fun show and the people are so excited, and have it together on your table and pretend to go. I won't know ahead of time. That's the problem. I have to do it right there. Yes, the participants are live. It's all live, Lenine. I mean, there is no doing it ahead. I mean, it's like either that or we're going to be on there for like 5 hours. And no one cares if I divert from the plan. Well, she said, if you can justify it in some way. So she said, it's not like they're, trying to make you do bad. I said, I think I could do that on my own. Anyway, it'll be fine. And Mary is really fun. And her son is the producer. So I got to meet him. Phone a friend. That's a thought. Yes, anxiety attack. All right, Laura. We're on the same wavelength. Love comes in all forms. Oh, the name of this site, it's called Craft Roulette. Wait a minute. I have a little thingy I can show you. And yeah, you just go to Craft Roulette on YouTube and it will be there. Okay. And we're number 165. Okay. So we'll see what happens. If nothing else, it will be funny. And you can all laugh at me. That's all right. And I said, I fail all the time. That's fine. It's not that. It's just that I think I wouldn't want to not have an idea. That would really be scary. Like, I know what I can do with my stuff, but just random. I don't know. We'll see. All right. Well, you know what? If nothing else, we can all hang out and laugh. So, okay. I had an exciting call today, guys, but I don't know if it's going to happen, but it would be a trip somewhere really that I never thought of going to. So, but the problem is I have something else scheduled. So I have to see if maybe I can switch. Anyway, I'll let you know. Have a drink first. Lemon drop. That might help. I don't know. You have a number of my dice. Oh, Jay, that's nice. Need to hire a professional ask. I don't know. Yes, I went off. No, it's not UK. It's somewhere I hadn't really thought about, but sounds exciting. Anyway, I'll let you know how that goes. All right, let's get going on this because I'm already late. I'm sorry to hold you up, guys, with that connection thing. But really, it's been a while since we've had something like that happen. I mean, it's been going pretty smooth. So we know it doesn't take much to throw it all off. All right, let me get this thing here. Someone else who's done it? Yeah, I saw Karen Berniston print out some card templates. That's what she said. She has some like sketches up on her wall, and that is a good idea because then you can just find the elements and then put them in that way. Maybe, Erin. Maybe. Okay. I'll tell you if it works out, but I don't want to say I'm doing it and then I can't, but hopefully we'll see. We'll just see. Can only ask. I mean, I said I would do a retreat, so I'm gonna honor that unless, Anyway, all right. So you need an assistant. Well, who knows? Probably if you speak Spanish, especially. Okay. All right. Let me turn the camera down. You know what I'm gonna do so this doesn't I'm gonna show this again, and then I'm gonna add my I think I can do this, but I gotta get this. Erin, you'll be so proud if I can figure it out. Okay. Yes, look at that. Not bad. Okay. All right, so here we go. We've got the die, and this is not really about making the book, although you will see how to do it. I'm sure you guys all know how to do this. But here is my card caddy die. And my thought was, I don't want to make this extended version, and I don't want to put a pocket on. I just want to do the binding and the cover. Okay. Now, when you're working with leather, there are some things to think about. Now, this is a heavy duty leather. And if you look on the blog this week, we have Elizabeth Robinson. I'm not going to tell you what she made it out of, but you will be surprised to see what her journal is made out of. And it might be something like this. Okay. But it didn't come from where you think. It did come from a cow, but anyway. All right. So there are a couple things to think about. The weight of the leather. I thought about a Teresita. This is, I would say, about a 2 to 3 ounce leather. If you're working with anything lighter, I would recommend backing it because it could be a little floppy. But for the size of the book that we're doing, I mean, the cover is only going to be that big. We don't need a lot of stability to it. I mean, when you put the books in, they're going to actually stabilize the shape of it, so it should be fine. Like this. And the other thing is, if you look at this surface here, it's kind of distressed looking, which a lot of people really like, and I do too. And so the thing about it is, if you get a little scratch on it or something, it doesn't matter that much because it's already distressed and kind of worn looking. So I like this kind of finish. It's also going to show up our embossing really nicely. So, okay. Now, if we did want to back it, if it was a little floppier, or say we made a larger journal, then you might want to back it. And the thing that I like to use is the texture roll. And there's usually a shiny side if you get, the shiny one. There's also colors. But if you get the shiny one, you can put the shiny part inside and then just have a nice craft edge. But see, I even like how pretty this is, with just the texture of the leather. The other thing is, when you cut it, that's going to kind of seal these edges. But if you want to rub a little glue along the edge, you can do that. There's also a tool, if you have a lot of leather stuff, that can kind of seal off this end here that uses friction. So anyway. Oh, Leslie got the trimmer. Should have known it. Okay. So what we're going to do is, now here's one more thing. You know that these score lines are going to get scored into the leather. If you talk to a real hardcore leather person, they're going to tell you that you need to put the that there shouldn't even be score lines, but we can't help it because the die has it and it's going to have score lines. But what they recommend is that you put them inside so that it doesn't cut the tougher hide, which is on the outside. So it's actually stronger if you put the score lines in the back. However, I don't like that because I like the score lines to tell me and tell the book where to fold, and as long as you make it thick enough and you use a thick enough leather, it will be fine. It's not going to break down. So we're going to reinforce the spine by folding it over each other. So yeah. Don't be nervous, Jay. This is really cool. And there are two ways to emboss. I'm going to show you one. If we have time, I might do another one, but with that stupid delay, I don't know. So what I'm saying is I like my score lines on the outside of my book, on the right side of my book. So that means I'm going to put my right side facing the die, okay? You just bought heat and bond to make your notebooks. Okay. All right. So I am going to take this. Now here's my binding and here's my cover. I'm going to go a little bit further than my cover, and it's probably going to score it, but then I can just cut that with my leather scissors. Now this looks like, you know, you can go crazy looking for the perfect piece of leather. You know, there's usually parts that are like, this has kind of a shine to it. I don't know if you can see that. It looks like something might have happened to this, but don't worry about it. Just, this is a practice one. I might keep this one. All right. So I'm not going to worry about it. Okay. So we are going to use our Big Shot. It's right here. I'm going to use, I really only need my smaller cutting pad. So let's do that. It's just easier to maneuver here. So I just want to make sure that my large cutting pad is underneath here. Can you see that? Okay. Just make sure it's covered with both sides. And this should just go through like a breeze. So we're going to do 2 of them. All right. I'm going to back it up just because I don't have to reach around in front of you. So there we go. Look at that. It's perfect. All right. Now I'm going to get my scissors here and I'm just going to trim this off. And this is a good die to do with it because it has these little, well, for one thing, the score lines, but it also has that little rounded part. So, you know, go right in the ditch. Now see here, I did get a little bit of fuzz because I cut that. So I'll just go through when I'm done and kind of trim that off. Okay, so we're going to do one more. So I am going to trim these little things off because sometimes they get caught, and but I may use these. Actually, I might use this extra strip for my closure. I don't know if I want to make it that thick, you know. So I may just chop that one off and do a two binder one. Okay, now I'm going to do the exact same thing. I have a long strip here, and if anybody is interested, I do have this navy blue distressed in my Etsy store. It's really pretty. I always do brown for the guys, so I thought, do blue, you know? I did blue keychain or brown keychains like a couple years ago. All right, so I still have this nice piece left over if I want to do another one. And let me just show you some of the other designs. I don't think I need this right away. Let me show you some of this leather. So you can see some of the different designs and colors and things like that. These are pretty. These are metallic. These actually do emboss. Now, not all of them do, and I'm talking about embossing in the with a pattern like where did my folders go? Where did I put them? Well, that's a new one. You guys can't see that. Wait a minute. Where did I put them? Shoot. Well, I have them here. I will find them. But, oh, that's driving me crazy. Oh, well, I know I have extras, so. All right, so these are the metallics. This is a silver and a gold, and it's a real pretty gold. It's not like too goldy, you know. Thank you, Glum. And I have them available in a, what are these, 12 by 24 or 18? I can't remember. They're 2 different prices, and you know, look in the Etsy store. I just can't remember. It's been a while. And then we have this, which is a cool kind of woven texture. We've got this brown. This is what I did last year, and the one I did for my husband, which he really liked. This one is my favorite. I need to cut some more of this. I have more. I just haven't used it yet. And I've got this pink, which is really pretty. And this one embosses really nice too. This one is thick. It's about as thick as this one. So you just have to kind of, this is not an exact science. It's just you have to play with it, but you also need to practice with scrap. Don't put it on the machine and like go for it. Just practice first and make sure, everything is working. If you want to emboss it, just make sure that, it actually does hold and emboss, because some of them, I don't think there's any here, but some have a texture on them already and they've been dyed and they're finished. They'll emboss when you want them to, they'll look real good, and then you go and the emboss like dies out. So that's not good. So you might want to practice with that before you make your masterpiece. Just saying. Also, sometimes people have trouble with cutting through. Like if you have really thick leather or really thin leather, it doesn't seem to matter. But what I recommend in that case is if you run it through, I would test out the score lines. And if you put a piece on here and the score lines are cutting through, what I recommend is you can either use a crease pad, which is this. It's a metal, or it's not metal, it's plastic. I'm looking right at it. And it provides a gentler cut, crease. No, a gentler cut. Instead of your acrylic, this has a little bit of give to it, so you can try this, okay? Or another thing that you can do is you can take a scrap piece of leather, lay it on your die, and then put your finished one here. And what happens is this piece will absorb the score instead of your final good piece, okay? So all of these tips are over on the Sizzix website. So you can, in my hub, you can go over there and take a look at them in case you forget. So, all right, so now we have our two covers, all right? Now see, this is gonna drive me nuts. What did I do with those stupid, oh, here they are. They're underneath. I was trying to be efficient. So I thought this looked kind of guy-like, it's just a surface. So I thought we'll try that one here. Okay, so first, let's make our new platform. And here are the dies that we're using. Just so you know, we've got the card case. That's what I just cut. Only two of the pieces, I didn't do the flaps. And then this would be a good one to emboss with. And I'll show you two things that I tried with it. One came out better, I thought, than another, but you could try it. This one I thought might work, but it's not the right size, so I'm going to say no. But I think this one would be really cool. And I think that's what I'm going to do on my sample one. This is the alphanumeric. And there's also this stuff called patina paint. And I'm pretty sure that you could take a small paintbrush and you could kind of highlight letters. So we'll talk about that when we get to it. If you wanted to paint on it, like their initials or a date or something like that. Thank you, Glum. You are going to town. All right, you've had thinner stuff in a sandwich. Okay, and in an Amazon envelope. Okay. All right. Well, okay. So that one, what else? Oh, then the other one I was thinking would be cute, would be to do houses. Like, they're the dad of the house, or, they're living in a house, whatever. A house is kind of, maybe they're a realtor. I don't know. But I think everybody thinks their house is kind of a comforting place. And, so a house could be for anybody. But I'm really looking for the guy stuff. And I just doesn't come to mind. Here's another doily, and we can look at that one too to do. That would be more of a, a girl one, I think, but depending on the guy, who knows? I don't know. I'm just saying, whatever you have, get yourself a Thinlits die. Just try it out, okay? So what we're going to do, now you have to kind of fiddle around with the platform because your leather may be a little different in depth. It's organic. It's like, it may even be this piece and this piece are a little bit different because of how they process the leather and all that stuff. So, it is an organic product, and you just have to be okay with working with it. Okay. So we're going to do our regular platform right here. I've got my platform, the die adapter, whatever they call this, thin die adapter, and one cutting pad. And then I've got my cover. Okay. So we're going to, now this, it's not going to matter front or back or up or down or any of that stuff, because we're just, using a folder and doesn't have any direction to it. So what I might do, let's see what this looks like. And I am going to put this together, but first I want to do my embossing. All right, yeah, I think this is just a little too fat. So I'm going to chop both of these off on each of them, the third tab here. And it really is easy to cut once you have leather scissors. These are handy, I will say. They cut through like nothing. And then you probably want to look at your covers and see which one looks better to you. There's usually one that's, stands out as being prettier or less messed up. So I'm looking at this, and this one looks a little better. That one has that crease in it, but we're going to go ahead and we're going to emboss both of them. But first I'm going to show you this other thing, because this is what I think I haven't shown yet. So this is going to be my front, and then we're going to cover it like that. We're going to glue it. I have leather glue. Now sometimes when you emboss it, this will tend to stretch a little bit. So just be aware. All right. So what I'm going to do is I am going to get my alphabet die, which we talked about. That's called, not alphabet die, it's called alphanumeric, tiled alphanumeric. So I was thinking this would be cute to have letters. I mean, that's anybody could want letters. You're just going to want to have it straight. So let's see. I might just start in the middle. Let's hold it up here so I can see on here. And you could take a little bit of tape and tape it down if you want, which I might do because I do want it to stay straight. All right, let me get some purple tape here. All right, so I'm just kind of centering this and getting, I'm going to do my binding too. I wasn't planning to, but that's all right. Okay, so this may not stay. All right, so I just want it, okay. All right, now we're going to take our additional cutting pad. Now, you might think, okay, that's going to cut through, Oh, why is it doing that? What is that EF called on your desk? EF, I don't know. I don't know, but it looks weird. Anyway, all right, I'm going to roll this through. You'll see what happens. Now, depending on the leather, wait a minute. Like I said, it will only go how it's supposed to go. If it's too many cutting pads, it's not going to go, and you'll know. But this is the one that I did before, so you can try like starting, you know what, let's just start without this one, and you'll see. If it goes through too smoothly, then you know you need to build it up a little bit. Yeah, I mean, it's not even doing anything. So, yeah, we need another. Well, let's try. It may be that I just chickened out and didn't push forward. So let's see. It might take a little more muscle. Now, if you're doing this in another machine that has more pressure, like the Switch or the Plus, you might have to adjust a little more. Okay, here we go. We're good. It does take the muscle, I will say. All right, wait until you see this. Okay, are you ready? It's gonna be so pretty. Look at that. Look at that. Let me just get this off. That probably was not a good idea to put on there. So I will not do that again because it left a mark. All right, another little tip for you. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? See, that would be cool, like if his initial was MN or RS or something like that. But even if it wasn't, it's still cool. I love it. Okay, now let's do the next one. Now, remember, this is going to be the back, okay? So we are going to turn it so that this, the binding, is on the right side instead of the left side, which it was here, because we're going to overlap these. And also, the good thing is, because sometimes I just do the cover and I don't do this, and then this will get squished and expand a little bit, and the binding will not because I didn't emboss it. But because I embossed the whole thing, I mean, look at that. Can you guys see? Isn't that amazing? Hi, Mitziana. Yeah, I just love that. Oh, all right. It does take a little muscle, though, I will say. So, it's also going to depend on your machine and how much pressure you have. So it will probably take a little bit of playing. So don't get frustrated if it doesn't, if it's not perfect. Okay. Now let's see if we wanted to maybe do different ones that are on the front. Or we could match them up, but there's room to play here. So maybe I'll bring it up to here. I just kind of centered, like I can see that the top or the bottom of the letter, well, maybe we should do some numbers. Let's do that. All right, I'm just trying to keep this even, and let's see if we can do it without the tape. I'm gonna be mad if that's not even though, but that's life. All right, so we're gonna run it through again, okay? Isn't it fun? I know, it is cool. All right, now this is, see, you'll build up your arm muscles while you're at it. Okay. All right, it looks pretty good. And you know what? If it's not lined up exactly, who cares? That's all right. Oh, but that's pretty good. Pretty good. It's a little off. But you know what? You're only going to see the front and back cover. But you know what? Next time I would be paying a little more attention to that. But I think that is adorable. All right, so let's just do our cover. Let's put this together, and I'll just show you how I do it. All right, now you want to make sure that you put something down here because I don't know why that light is weird again. You know? What happens if you don't turn the sandwich around? You mean if I did like this, I would have upside down letters, Charlotta. I don't know if that's what you mean, but I would have that. The other thing that I can do is I can round this corner. I'm just going to take my scissors, and I think I will also kind of trim off this extra fuzz here. The tool that I have, I'm not sure where it is. I don't do leather all the time. It's like you have to take out extra stuff, and I just don't get room here. And just a very tiny little corner. Oh, I hope they like this. You know, you could put the year. You could use those metal stamps that we have, you know, and that could be another way to emboss. All right, see all these little fuzzies? Just don't bother with them. All right, so let's do this. So this is the glue. I got this at, I think I got it at Michael's. There's another kind too. You can run it through upside down. I do that all the time. Oh, okay, you mean flip it. Yeah, you could do that. Yeah. I know, it does let you see how to line things up. Should have pushed it through with your stomach. I Well, I certainly have, well, I don't know about muscles there, but I have the stomach for sure. All right, so what I'm gonna do, you have to be a little bit careful with this because it will show up. We get so used to that glue that, it dries clear and everything. This doesn't, and it can be messy. So I think I should have perhaps shaken that up. All right, let me do that. This looks really milky. It might be supposed to be like that. Can you emboss mat board the same way? Yes, you can. All right, let's see. All right, I might have to get out my other glue. That's all right. I have used my red line tape here, but I don't know. I haven't used this in a while. I don't want this running into, I don't know. Let's try it and see if it works. You really have to get to the edge because otherwise it'll lift up right at the edge. And then you want to put this, oops, see, I went over the line here. Maybe I can, all right, let's see. And I would put a heavy book over this. Just feel and make sure you get it how you want it. All right, let me find a heavy book. And then we're gonna, and let's try the other way too. All right. I have a couple dies here I can put on top. Let me just get them. Okay. So that one is waiting. Now, you know what? Let's just go ahead and cut another one because I have to make 4 anyway, and I think there's enough of this navy blue. So, and then the other thing we have to think about is a closure. So let's emboss this one. Now, I haven't practiced this one in a while, and like I said, you kind of have to think about these platforms and test them out. So I may not get it right off the bat, but let's give it a try. It's also beautiful. It's just not a die that's embossing, it's with a folder. The other thing that I thought about doing, and I tried it, was embossing the other side so it would kind of press down into it, but it wound up not staying. I don't know. For some reason, it didn't really stay in the leather. And then when I went over it, oh, it was this one. There was another pattern under that, and it just, I guess, rolled it out. I don't know. Anyway, you never know. That's the fun of working with leather, really. It is kind of unpredictable until you get it done. You end up with the cover, dies, book, and hair stuck together. Yeah. All right. Let's whip this one out here, and then let's emboss it. All right, so I'm just gonna, and I'm just for the sake of all of the guys getting the same thing, I'm gonna trim their strip off too. And the good thing about this die is that those little notebooks from Dollar Tree fit perfectly in here. So you could do that. You could make like a little, you could do a pocket in here. You could do one pocket, but I don't know what they would use it for. I'm thinking like, you know, maybe in the car, keep next to you when you think of something. Or who knows? Maybe they have a little calendar they could fit in here. Do you guys have trouble with the guide gifts also? I mean, I usually get Home Depot's gift certificate. So boring. Okay. Now this is not as furry as some of the other leathers. I guess the nap, which is this back piece here, the fuzzy factor. Some are really fuzzy, the thicker stuff. I'm doing it now because it's just easier when it's separate. But really, around the edges is not too bad. You know, the die cuts it. All right. All right, more for the dustbuster to find. Okay, so we have 2 more covers, and those both look pretty good, so I don't think it matters. Now, the other thing that I was telling you that I wanted to do, and I wound up doing a doily because if I did this the way I was thinking of, it would have backward letters, because what I wanted to do was press it into the design, but it wouldn't have worked. I did do it, and it, you know, that's with the cutting side down. But I used this, and it really just didn't take. You know, I thought it was a really cool idea, but it just didn't press down enough. So when I did it the other way, it was so dramatic that, you see that? You know, it's like, okay, I'll do that. Wait, let me see what you guys are saying. Little black book. Will this technique work with pleather? Yes, it should, Anissa. It should. I don't know about the embossing with a folder. When I have embossed faux leather, whatever it is, with the folders, it does not hold the fold, because what I'm thinking, it's a different material for one thing, but I don't know, it just doesn't do it. All right, so let's try our folder. All right, now I started doing it before and got off track. Oh, okay. So I think we can fit this whole thing in here, actually. Well, it's a little short. That's all right. I'm going to put it over a little. You know what? I'm going to leave it so that this way I can line up, just my cover will go through. And that still will fit widthwise, and that's another reason that I like this, because these folders will just not go through that way unless you chop something off the bottom, which is, I would be afraid I would ruin my die, so, or my folder. All right, so let's, I'm trying to remember how I did this. I should have prepared, but I've got some water here. I know you want to add water to leather for sure. So I'm just going to spray it. Now, you know, there's no guarantee that this is going to work. You really have to fiddle with it, and that's why I said you want to experiment first before, you know, using good leather and then ruining it. That's really annoying. All right, so I'm just going to close that down. Now let's try this, and then we'll build up. I think this might be right, actually. Yeah, this is pretty. It's pretty heavy duty. That should give a nice impression. Guys could use in their car for mileage. Actually, that's what I was thinking. Oh yeah, look at that, guys. You know what? That is beautiful, and it didn't stretch. I'm happy about that, because sometimes this gets out of whack, and it's like, what happened there? You have to trim it down a little. But the other thing that happens when this gets compressed is that it's hard and stiff. Look at that. Do you see how it's kind of floppy before? You used to wet and give a second to soak in. Yeah. Yeah, that one, I mean, that worked right away. Actually, you know what? I think I used not this one, but this one. Let's try that. Although I kind of want them both to be the same, but you're not going to know the difference. The other nice thing about this is it does the front and back. Yeah, just kind of rub it in a little. And I'm going to do it the same way. I'm not going to worry about matching it up. All right, let's see what happens if we use this piece here. This is a little thinner, I think. Yeah, this is good, but I'm not sure I'm going to get as deep an impression, so I'm going to do this here. I'm not going to move it. I'm going to do my other one also. But let's look at it. Oh, good thing we did that. All right, now watch this, okay? See how it's off track? I'm going to turn it back over, and I'm going to add more pressure, and let's see what happens. I think it's going to erase that first batch of embossing, and oh man, come on, baby, come on. Okay, that really is hard to do. So you have to see how thick your leather is, what cutting pads you have. Yeah, look at that. See, it fixed it. It went over a little there, but so what? Put that underneath. Oh, look at that. So pretty. Yeah, I would go that way. Look at that cute little book. That's adorable. I kind of like that the spine is not embossed, just for a different look. Yeah. So I don't know which way do you guys like better? Do you like this design? You can do them all. All right, let's see if this is dry. Yeah, it's pretty good. You know, you get either the texture kind of smushed into the whole thing, or you've got this. Now, some people seal these, and I do have a sealer. This is all stuff from Tandy Leather that I got a while ago, and so there is a sealer. I don't have it right on me. I just really wanted to get to the embossing. But isn't that a cool way to emboss? I would like to add my sealer on here just in case, you know, it rains, or I don't know. It's pretty forgiving even if it gets wet, but I would just like to have the sealer, and I put it in the front and the back, and then I would add my little books. And like I was saying, now see, I should have been more careful here. See how that overlapped a little, and now we've got a little bump out like that, but that's okay. That's not bad. It just gives the, but see how I mean, this way, you know, this is where you fold your book. If you had your score lines inside, you'd be stretching the leather around. And so to me, this just makes more sense. So yes, I like it a lot. Now, the other thing that you could do on here is you could add a little plaque or like a little piece of this, you know, that you cut off and just put the date. You could stamp it into it, you know, with your metal stamps. And the other thing I was thinking is we could use this for closure. And let's just try it on this one because it almost looks like a patent leather, you know? It's a lot shinier. So I'm trying to see what you guys are saying. Okay, Chris. You like the textured one the best, Arthi? This one? You could cut alphabet tiles from thinner leather. Yes, you could. Yeah, and just put them on here. You could totally do that, or just the letters. Yeah, you could do their name, or you could do their name down here. But you're probably going to have binding somehow. You're going to have to bind books in somehow. So you'll have, but down here in the middle, you know, you could do the date. You could do their initials, monogram. You could do like even like a metallic kind of book plate kind of thing. That would be cool. Yeah, there's a lot of possibilities for this, guys. Now, this was the other thing, and these were where my embossing things were hiding. But what I was thinking was you could either do like a hitch fastener type thing. See, I don't really want to cover that. But you could do your piece back here and, you know, brad that, or do an eyelet back here because that's the back. You know, just anchor that in and then add a brad, or I mean a hitch fastener on the front, and then punch a hole so that this could go over it. But then I thought that might be hard to adjust for the depth. Maybe they have extra things and it's just another thing. I mean, the um the elastic really is the best way, but for a guy, I don't know. The other thing, the one that I did for my husband, I used a leather cord. I don't have any in the navy blue. I bet you could cut a long strip and make that a leather cord, maybe with a rotary cutter and wrap it around a couple times, put a wooden bead on the end of it and just tuck it down under. So I don't know. I have to play around with this, but I'm excited to get back into the leather. I love it. Velcro, Belinda, I don't know if it would stick. And yeah, I don't know about that. Magnet, maybe. You could do the magnet underneath and a magnet here, so it just kind of clicked on. That'd be all right. And you wouldn't have to be covering everything, just right there. Or even it could stick on the inside, You could do two inside like this. So you wouldn't see, because I don't like wrecking the leather covering it. I think it just disturbs it, So you could just cut this and do a little one here. Can you believe this stupid curling iron thing's still around? It's driving me crazy. Oh, I'm excited about these. So really, I mean, I have 2 more to do. And then my husband, I'll probably do another one for him. Do you guys like photo albums? I don't know about photo albums, but they like pictures. I mean, you could do if you had one of those little wallet plastic sleeve things, you could do that. In addition to a little notebook. I think that would be cute. One other thing, I had some gold luster wax and it got inside my folder. So this one is not the folder one. So I don't know where that came from, but I might have it somewhere. Just be careful of where you put your luster wax. You wouldn't swear to it. I thought you want to feed the open end of the embossing folder in first. That's probably right. Did I do that? Yeah, I usually do it like that. It seems like this is thinner and it kind of feeds in. Ooh, we'll see, I got that wet. That's one thing. Wipe down your folder because these are wet. But really, I think this has some kind of sealer on it already. But I am going to go ahead and do that. Magnet, I think you could glue on with Fabri-Tac. Yeah, I just don't know if a miniature belt buckle would be cute, Christy. All dads like brag books. Yes, that's true, Glum. Amazon do mini buckles. Okay. Tim Holtz recommended that way on his video. Oh, okay. How about a snap? Maybe a snap. And it wouldn't have to be a journal. Sew it on and add a button and buttonhole. You could. See, there's a lot of possibilities, guys, as always. Let me see what you're saying here. A belly band with a snap. Now that would be easy. Oh man, I missed a lot. I was so busy talking. I know the initials would be cool. Embroidery with leather cord. Yeah, I do like that idea. Luster wax. That would be crazy on here. Easier to crank through if you start from open end. Oh, really? Open end of embossing folder? I could try it. You could cut alphabet tiles. Yes. All right. I think that's where I left off. Yeah, you guys have so many good ideas. Velcro. You know what? If you have leather, all right, I'm going to tell you what Elizabeth Robinson made her project with. Couch. Her upholstery from a couch. It was leather, and I don't know how she got it, but go look on the blog. And so she made one, so it should not be that hard to find. I know that not everybody is has a Michael's nearby, but they do have it on Amazon. They have it, you don't have to buy a big fancy thing. Just get some and try it. I mean, it's really fun. The leather is beautiful. It just takes a little bit of fiddling, and don't get frustrated because it's, you just don't know if it's going to work or not. You hope it does. But I think I have a couple other videos I'll try and go back and link them in this description, and you can see some more tips. You cut the leather of your old sofas, and your neighbor did too. Wow, cool. Hope I still have my leather from 35 years ago in your stash. It probably works. I mean, this stuff doesn't really break down. You have this dye, you can make little belts. Oh, we did that one time. Wait a minute. I have a belt. It is a Tim Holtz. Let me see. I don't know if I can find it right off the top of my head, but I know that I have some. What did I do with them? Shoot. But yeah, they're little belt buckles, and all you do is you take your little strap. Uh-oh. All right, I got glue on that. But you just take your strap and you wrap it around one end and glue it. Just, do enough so you can get the glue really nailed down. Okay. And then this should be, the one loop is there. And then the other, you just do the same thing with the other end. And you just wrap it around and you belt it up. I'm sure I did a video about that one time. It was, I think, on Sizzix. But anyway, it's really easy to do. Yes, that brown full-size leather, that was a good one. I love that one. I still have it. I'm going to use that someday because it's big. But these are cute. And, I wouldn't feel bad. Like, if I spent a lot of money on leather and a lot of time making them just perfect, and I found out that they weren't using it. But you know what? This is like, oh, well, it was quick. I have the stuff. See, now that makes me mad. That was that purple tape, so don't do that. Okay? Kind of reminds me of Scrabble, I think this is so cute. All right. You think anybody would like this? Tiara Cast also has leather accessories. Okay, cool. Can you cut up a purse? You could do that. You just have to be careful of how thick it is, because if it's too thick, you can't get it through the thing. It won't cut it. It's, it's a little iffy. And then you don't get the right combination of plates. Yeah, but I think anybody would like this. I would like this. What if you put the purple tape on the rest of the inside? Yeah, you could do that. Yeah, I could just go ahead and just scrape it all off. Yeah, pull off. Although I kind of like the letters showing through. You can see them. You can hide the tape marks with a fabric lining. I could. Yeah, a little pocket. You could put a library pocket in here. Wait, let's see. Did that fit? Let's see. Do I have a library pocket? Let me see. There's got to be one. I rearranged, guys, and now I can't find anything. You know how that is. Wait a minute. Here it is. I think it would fit. Well, yeah, because you could do that. Like a lighter leather. Yeah, that would work. Nice little pocket. Good idea. Yeah, so just cut this out of even like the texture roll. That would work. You could do little cards. Actually, I'm just thinking. A calendar. I would use a calendar. So what you could do is put another score line here to give it a little more dimension, and fold this up and put little cards with each month or front and back. So there were 6 cards with the dates and stuff. I don't know. There's just so much you can do, as usual, with all this. But what I like is it makes a professional product, like it looks like, wow, how did you do that? Don't you think? Business card holder. You have leather tools for making handbags in the past. Yes, Jay. Yeah, the glue, you know what? This does work. It's kind of thin. But the other stuff that I got was, wait, let me see if I can find it. Yeah. It was this stuff right here. Eco Weld. Contact adhesive. But you know what? Probably anything. As long as it works with porous materials. So these are the two. That one's at Michael's. That's kind of thin. This is not thick, but it's, they both work. And you could put it on with a brush. I didn't want to ruin the brush. If you don't put that brush right away in water, it will get all disgusting. How will I bind it? Belinda, I don't know, because I don't know what I'm going to put in here. I could put my two or three Dollar Tree notebooks, and I could put them in here, and then they could switch them out. I might do 2 notebooks and a little thing of the wallet photos. That would be cute. Do stuff with their kids or the family, like some family pictures we had. You can add an eyelid to each and some little piece of leather strip and a small piece of elastic. Oh, that's a good idea. Yes. A nice man's billfold. Yeah, actually, if you scored here, you could, make this flatter and add pockets. And I don't know if that would fit in your, I think that would fit in your pocket, if it wasn't as fat. I don't know. It's kind of bulky. But lots of possibilities. You keep coming back to photos. Instax. They would fit. Yes. Aleen's makes a leather glue. I don't have that one, Amy, but it could. Yeah, you guys have a lot of ideas. Hi, Lori. Yeah, I like the business card. But you know what? With those, let me see if I have one of them. Oh, I can't believe it. This was in the drawer. These there's some kind of other thing that I cut up. But if you had a couple of these, and you had your little elastic top and bottom, slip it through, and there's your photos or business cards. That looks like a business card, doesn't it? Yeah, these are nice and sturdy too. So lots of these ideas. For the wallet, cut the 2 panels, but not the binding. Oh yeah, but you could just do that long strip. Yeah, like for a wallet, you could just do this strip right here. Fold it over. Or that's a closure, Wait a minute, that's in the middle. Well, that could be a closure. I don't know. Lots of ideas, guys. I'm telling you. We are never at a loss for ideas. You could whip one of these up in your craft roulette show. A little note. Oh, I just thought well, if it was alphabet, I could. I don't know. Maybe that's now a new challenge. Convert everyone to making books instead of cards. Doubtful. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for your patience on, the technical issues at the beginning. But boy, I gotta tell you, this is way stiffer than this. See how that's kind of flopping? That's kind of flopping just because this end is, but I kind of like the sturdiness of that, Anyway. All right, enough playing. I only have 2 more to go. 2 more to go, and then there we go. You forgot the binding was in the middle. Inspirational as always. Oh, Allison, I don't know about that. But anyway, leather is fun, and I'm loving, I really do like this, but I want to seal that. So I will do something with it because we still have a little time. And let me know if there's anything that you guys want to, explore, any different materials. I mean, we could do faux leather. If you want to do, we could do a comparison on that. We can just do whatever you guys want. I have the stuff, believe me. If I don't have it, I have a good reason to go buy more stuff, which I'm trying not to do, but, sometimes. Anyway. All right, guys, I'm going to go. I'll see you on Thursday, okay? Thanks for watching, and thanks again to May. And, I would love if you want to subscribe and come along on the journey with us. You can join the fan club, Eileen Hall Fan Club. Just make sure to answer the questions and join the group because that's where we really that's our home base. So anyway, thanks, guys. Sorry, I know it's late, especially UK folks. Thank you. See ya. Bye.